You were the anointed cherub who covers. I established you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked back and forth in the midst of fiery stones. You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created till iniquity was found in you. While he was still perfect, Lucifer had been transferred from serving at God's throne. He was given rulership over the earth. But to put it simply, he wasn't satisfied with ruling the world. He wanted more. And Lucifer sinned, as we're told further. For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So Lucifer, or Satan as he became, rebelled and attempted the world's first government coup. He actively planned to take over the throne of God. As punishment for that attempted coup, he was put in a condition of restraint along with his rebel army. The apocalyptic book of Revelation shows that 1/3 of the angels followed Satan's rebellion. They ascended from the earth with Satan, and at the climax of their rebellion, they were cast out of heaven and back to earth. They became known as demons. Here's the proof from the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 4. His tail drew 1/3 of the stars of heaven. Stars symbolize angels in this book, and threw them to the earth. But what does God specifically reveal about Satan in the New Testament? In the Gospel of Matthew, he's called the tempter. The Apostle Paul, knowing who Satan was and the power of his schemes and deceptions, described him as the prince of the power of the air, the spirit who now works in the sons of disobedience. Satan is shown to powerfully influence this earth. It's as if he's in the business of broadcasting, but he puts out wrong moods and attitudes over the air. He radiates a spirit of defiance, disobedience, and rebellion. He fans the flames of prejudice and hatred. In this way, he influences peoples and nations, stirs them up, and blinds them to the true purpose of God, even denying them an opportunity to have a full, abundant life. So it becomes clear that it's not only those who exhibit bizarre, demonic behavior, or those who dress in satanic robes and participate in satanic rituals who are under Satan's influence. The Bible tells us that humanity worldwide is unknowingly being influenced and deceived by Satan. It also says that Satan is the god of this age. You find that in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 4. Whose minds the god of this age has blinded, who do not believe. Yes, that's right. At this point in human history, Satan is the god of this world, a being who blinds people's minds to the truth. Likewise, we should also be aware that Satan can appear as anything but evil. One of his greatest deceptions is to appear good. Here's the Apostle Paul again in 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 14. For Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. Satan and his demons aren't recognized for what they really are. They're experts at making evil look good and darkness appear as light. For centuries, Satan and his demons have been leading mankind away from truth into spiritual darkness. And the Bible warns against that. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness. So we need to be on guard, and the first step in combating deception is to understand what's really going on behind the scenes in the spirit world. Satan is a real being. So are his demons. No matter how they represent themselves, no matter how fine and lofty their pronouncements might sound, their sole purpose is to turn our eyes away from the true God and his plan and purpose for mankind. Here's a startling piece of truth from the Bible that explains the title of today's program, again from the book of Revelation. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. To a greater or lesser extent, we can all be under Satan's spell. The Bible labels the popular occult and supernatural pursuits of our modern age as works of darkness. We're admonished to have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. The Bible warns explicitly of the dangers of dabbling in the spirit world. Here's another warning. Give no regard to mediums and familiar spirits. Do not seek after them, to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. Of course, there are many today who claim to communicate with the prophets and apostles, even with Christ himself. But the prophets, apostles, and Christ speak to us through the pages of the Bible, not through seances and channeling. Such practices are dangerous. Listen to this chilling warning from one self-proclaimed former witch. People who read their stars, who do a little bit of yoga or dabble with the Ouija board, are joining with the forces of darkness. And one day they could find a stranger living in their body whom they don't want. It's the world of demons that's behind spirit manifestations in seances, spirit photographs, and electronic voice phenomena. And again, we stress this is a serious and dangerous business. But Satan's power is limited, and he can only do what God allows him to do. We can have a part in resisting the enticements and deceptions of these powerful beings. How? The Apostle James answers it this way. Submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Yes, Satan is a being with enormous power, but his power, great as it is limited. Satan can only do what God allows him to do, and what you allow him to do. If we keep away from the occult and supernatural works of darkness, if with God's help we resist the attraction of the evil spirit world, then we'll become a hard target for Satan and his demons, and they will flee from us. The occult world cannot give direction and meaning in life, but the Bible, if rightly understood, can. Now, there's much more to the story and many more places in the Bible where the works of Satan and the spirit world are described. Today, occult activities, spiritism, and interest in the supernatural are increasing. You, your family, your children need to be on guard. You need to be informed. Let me once again offer you this free booklet, Is There a Real Spirit World? And the Plain Truth magazine. First, let me show you this important free booklet, Is There a Real Spirit World? Truth and reality of the spirit world. Chapter 1 examines the origin of channeling. Just where did it come from? And why is it so popular today? The next chapter looks at communication with the dead. There are some today who claim they've spoken with the spirit voices of Churchill, Hitler, Stalin, and other famous men and women from history. How do we explain this? Chapter 3 shows there is a spirit world, and it shows what's out there beyond what science can physically detect. Chapter 4 discusses those who claim to deliver messages from the spirit world. And the final chapter looks at dreams, the various forms they come in, and why we have them. Could there be a connection between some dreams and the spirit world? All of this and more can be found in this informative free booklet, Is There a Real Spirit World? Now, we've nothing to sell on the World Tomorrow program. This booklet, as well as all of our literature, is yours free, no charge whatsoever, and no obligation. And if you're not already a subscriber to the Plain Truth magazine, we'll be sending you a free subscription for as long as you'd like. The Plain Truth is a magazine of understanding, and it'll give you insight and information that you won't find anywhere else. We hope to see you again next time. Thank you for joining us today. I'm David Hume for the World Tomorrow.